Good evening, everybody. Welcome, welcome. This is Out of the Fog. I'm your boy DC, and you're about to hang out with a bunch of really cool mover shakers who make things happen in all the disciplines. First off, small multi-generational family business makes this province happen. And you're going to meet Marilyn, who hangs out with the Deluxe crew and talk about the unique family history they got going on and all the things that they do. And then we're going to learn all about St. John's walking tours from two friends, Pierre and Melisa. They started it up back in COVID times, and it has been booming ever since, from the food and drink to the walk on water, which I love. So many tours. You're going to find out all about how this business came to be and the people who make it happen. And then finally, we got Paddy O'Flaherty and Deneen Connolly. I mean, two smoke shows who do tango here in our city. They're growing a school. It's going to be amazing. And you might see me do a little dance at the end. You never know. But stay tuned. This is Out of the Fog, and we'll be right back after this break. Welcome back, everybody. This is Out of the Fog, and I love when my small business, multi-generational family businesses roll through. And to talk about one that you definitely know and love is my friend Marilyn. What's going on?
Too much. How are you doing?
Doing great. Good to see you.
Good. See you.
And this feels like deja vu all over again, you know?
It does.
We'll see where it goes. So listen, I want to talk to you about Deluxe Dry Cleaners, which is a brand that I have so many memories of spending my life going to the locations with Mom, holding her hand at the wicket, the missus behind it, giving us the dry cleaning back and forth. And so, like, I've grown up with that brand. Tell me more about this multi-generational brand for the folks behind the camera who don't necessarily know that there is a family biz backstory to Deluxe.
Yeah, so Deluxe Dry Cleaners started in 1980. It's opened by Jim Angelopoulos. He came over from Greece in the 1960s. His cousins worked at Cousins Dry Cleaners on Alexander Street. So he started working there. He didn't have any real intention of staying in St. John's, but he met his wife Lorraine there, and the rest of that story is history. He had a couple other ventures during his time here. He operated and owned Venice Pizza with his brother Spiro. He had, that was in the 1970s, he had a clothing store called John and Gregory, which was named after his two eldest sons. And then what was, I guess, formerly a KFC at our current location, 159 Pennywell Road, had a fire, and he bought the building, and I guess using his experience with dry cleaning, he thought that'd be a great place to go, and now here we are.
And so I'll tell you what, I find it amazing when I hear stories about families who are from other places around the world who ended up here in Newfoundland and took such advantage of the opportunity for freedom and independence and to be entrepreneurial and to do things that have gone on to become so amazing for so many decades. It's inspiring, I think, and I wonder, when you look in on that story, what do you think?
I mean, for me, I started working with the company in 2013, where I met Spiro, and I guess we have a similar love story as his parents, as we've been together since then. And I did take some time away and worked for sort of large ed tech companies and publishing companies. And in that experience, I realized that there's something to be admired about being part of a small business and not being just a number, and having, yourself as a person and really being a part of those values, and seeing, every people who've worked there for 30 years, almost since it started, and seeing them retire, and just also having that same wholesome value that exists there. It's a privilege to be a part of that.
That's amazing, and it's often something that we don't reflect upon enough as it pertains to the places where we choose to work and the sizes and the sort of corporate constructs. And your story is very interesting. So to have worked so deeply in sort of bigger corporate environments, we'll say, that is the route you had to take to appreciate what you have now.
Absolutely.
It does take one to appreciate the other, doesn't it?
It does.
It's wild.
Yeah.
And so what do you do there?
So I'm the operations manager. I do a little bit of everything. So I sort of oversee the day-to-day operation of Deluxe, and then also the franchise division that we have, which is CRDN, which is a general and specialty contents restoration company.
Yeah.
So I do a lot of the project management for that. So dealing with insurance companies and local contractors when people are affected by losses, fires, floods. We go in and we take care of them in that regard by bringing their items back to what we call pre-loss condition and sort of giving them a little bit of a sense of comfort that not everything can be lost, and the ability to do that for people is it's something special as well.
I hope if anyone's sitting down here tonight watching us have this conversation that they are rethinking how intimate and unique the experience of getting something restored or repaired is in your world, because I don't think that a lot of folks realize that. And to your point, you're absolutely right. A big franchise-driven, scenario is not going to have the unique expertise and subject matter that it takes years to accumulate, like a custom shop would.
Absolutely.
Boom, no big deal. So if you all don't know, now you know, right? So listen, I want to ask you, where is it going? Because a multi-generational company that began out of such brave daring that now employs so many people and does so many things for so many industries. What do you guys see when you look in that crystal ball,
Well, there's certainly a vision there, and Spiro, having taken over from his father, I think around 2010, he had a vision to say that dry cleaning isn't something that may last forever, in the sense that when you look at how it started, it was authentic fabrics, it was wools, everything was 100%. The introduction of synthetic fabrics and then casual work environments, it sort of changes that market a little bit. So you have to have the foresight to say, where are we going to go, as you asked. So, expanding into linen supply and cleaning, uniform and mat rentals, restaurant linens, the franchise component that we spoke of being part of the CRDN. Those are all things, and I think it's just continuing to grow those foundations and seeing where that can take us in the future.
I love it. Well, listen, everything that crosses my back will be across your desk, I have no doubt. And I'm very excited, and may I say in the final few, that as a business association member, also important to talk about community. And I feel like when I'm talking to my business heads on the couch, we always end up going to the importance of connection and community in what we do. And coming together, I think, is a very important piece of that, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. Being in a room with like-minded business professionals some of them that come from similar backgrounds, being small business operations or even being part of those large, corporations that we talked about, they all come with the same sense of community in themselves, and they also always share insights and knowledge as to how they can assist the industry or what they're doing that makes a difference. And I think when everyone comes together and discusses those things, it can create new visions and new opportunities and new ideas, and it's a wonderful thing to be a part of.
I think it is too. And I'm so glad you came by. Will you come back and hang out again?
Always.
Marilyn, you're the best.
Thank you.
Guys, Deluxe Dry Cleaners, an amazing multi-generational family business up in here that you want to support. This is Out of the Fog, and we'll be right back after the break.
Your opinion matters, and we want to hear from you. Get in touch with us using our viewer feedback line, your direct connection to shaping the shows you love. It's easy. Just grab your phone, scan the QR code on your screen, and take our quick survey. Share your thoughts, and let's make your viewing experience even better.
You're watching Rogers TV St. John's.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Out of the Fog, and I will tell you what, that when it comes to summer tourism, you're going to be meeting two heroes in the game, and they got us all talking and walking. Pierre, Melisa, what's going on? How are you?
How are you, Donnie?
Doing
Good
good.
to see you.
I'm glad to be hanging out with you guys on the couch tonight.
For sure.
So listen, tick-tock, summer's on the clock, and I hear people are down to clown around the town, and I'll stop rhyming. Tell me all about St. John's Walking Tours.
Well, I think it's fair to call it a passion project for us. Walking tours is an idea Melisa had for St. John's for quite some time, and all it took was a global pandemic and a crappy job at UPS to get me to go along with it. I hope I'm allowed to say that word on TV. But no, I found myself back in Newfoundland after numerous years teaching in Asia.
Yeah,
I was
exactly.
teaching English in Asia, and I got locked out from China when I was traveling when COVID broke out. I found my way back here, and then 2022 we decided let's give it a shot. And we looked into some different aspects. We looked into some funding that we were able to secure, and on the 8th of July 2022 we launched our first walking tour.
I love it.
We had a good group that day and a lot of empty space in the calendar, and I think it was fear and adrenaline that got me through the summer largely. But
Melisa, listen, you are a cultural ambassador, advocate. Suitcase and Heels is its own mega success in the blogosphere world.
Yep.
And yet you love St. John's and you love the local culture. Where did the idea that Pierre just talked about came from?
Well, it came a lot from my own traveling. I travel a lot, have for the last 12, 15 years. And especially in Europe, everywhere I go, walking tours are big. And I think it's a really great way to get introduced to a new place, because you take, 2-3 hours, you go around with a local guide, they tell you the history, the stories, you get some tips on local restaurants, shops, all of that stuff. And I thought St. John's was perfect for it because we have such a long, unique history.
Totally.
And we've got such a walkable downtown.
True.
And it's very compact, so it was perfect for a walking tour. Nobody was doing it. So that was where I had the first idea, but I was no tour guide at the time. And
She
I
has
thought Pierre would be
become one.
perfect. I am now a
become
tour
one.
guide, yes. I run one of our food tours.
That's amazing. Well, speaking of, let's talk about it. Because if I'm like, oh yeah, St. John's walking tour, I got a bunch of friends coming through this summer, this, that, and the third. I want to call up Melisa and Pierre, get them on the go. What are the types of walking tours that go on? Tell me.
well, we've tried to diversify the tours a little bit so that we have tried to offer a little bit to everybody.
Sure.
We started off with what we call our signature tour, which is our primary history tour, but we also bring in a lot of other things like pop culture things and some arts and entertainment. And we try to introduce people to as many different aspects of our history and culture as we can. We also do a food tour, which is going into its third season, and that's just that tour is becoming our primary tour.
Wow,
and it is a great tour.
Of course.
And I don't mind saying that. We've both done a number of tours, and we compare ours to others all the time, and we're doing okay.
Oh yeah, well, I bet you guys are,
yeah.
because it's all about the hosting and the information and making everyone feel comfortable. And of course, there's the places that you're taking them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We also, last season, we brought on a beer tour, a beer sampling tour,
Wow.
and we also do a 90-minute walking on water tour, we call it, which is a fully accessible tour. We wanted to have that so we could offer a tour to everybody. So there's no hills, no stairs, or anything like that on the Water Street tour, so opens up options for everyone.
Well, all I can say is thank God someone finally took the concept of walking on water and made it a thing, because I've been saying it for years, and I'll be like, it's going to go walk on water. And everyone's like,
Well,
oh, I'm
yeah.
like, someone should do something with that.
Yeah,
and there you are.
can.
Yeah.
There you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So guys, I'm pretty excited for you, and let's talk about the summer coming, which, as discussed, and as we know, is the largest influx of people that we are going to see in St. John's in our lifetime.
Yeah.
And when the Canada Games marketing and communications crew came out with that stat, that information, we said, whoa. And what does that mean to you is what I want to know.
Opportunity,
Oh yeah, baby.
Yeah,
Dinner bell, ring it.
We are prepared to walk a lot
Yes.
during
Yeah.
that time. Yeah.
Freudian slip.
We'll be here, and we've got tours for everybody if they want to, get to know St. John's while they're here in town. And we think, already, our bookings we're doing very well.
That's great. So
we
exciting.
know it's going to be a busy summer. We're currently in the process of hiring some new tour
Well,
guides.
that's good to know.
Yeah.
So we're growing our team again.
And we're fortunate with the team that we've been able to start with, that we've been very fortunate to get some great people, and everybody we had last year came back this year.
Oh, wow, wait.
Yeah,
So what does
so
it take to be a deadly tour guide? What are the ingredients, would you say? I'll ask you first.
A touch of charisma, I guess, doesn't hurt, but some natural storytelling ability, the ability to throw in a little bit of humor here and there, and you got to have a passion for it. For the history, for the culture and stuff, and you gotta enjoy sharing that with other people. And if you're really passionate about it, that shows through to them, and that right there, like the passion is such a huge part of it, right?
You gotta sell it,
Yeah. Absolutely.
Because they're looking to be sold. They want to know what's up and where all the weird spots are and this and that. Am I wrong? Like, I don't know.
No,
and we
you're
love a
not
good
wrong.
quirky
It's-
story, and
it
St.
is.
John's has a lot of good quirky stories.
Oh, no doubt
so
about it.
we love like trying to uncover. We're always trying to uncover new ones too.
How do you research? How do you go about that? Where do you
A
find
lot
your
of different
stories?
ways.
Yeah,
The
a lot of
internet,
local
books,
local
people.
local books and things like that.
Because that's like that's
Yeah.
part of the show, isn't it? It's the things
Yeah.
we didn't know. And question for you: any locals come through? Any people from outside the city or the region? Like, how does that work? Is it all people that are never from here before, or are there some folks that maybe haven't been here in a while, or some folks that are looking to be a tourist in their own backyard, which is something that we don't do enough, may I say?
Yeah, I agree with that. It depends on the tour, really. Like we get a little bit more local people, say for the food or the beer tour.
Okay, cool.
But the other tours, it's almost exclusively from people outside of Newfoundland and Labrador. And even then, like the Maritimes, we get a little bit, but it's mostly outside of the Maritimes, Atlantic Canada as well. Australia.
Really?
Yeah,
cool.
we get a number of folks from Australia. We've had some from New Zealand as well.
yeah.
Wowee.
China. Yeah.
That's exciting.
Yeah, it really is.
Irish and British and
yeah.
all
Yeah, a
over.
lot of
It's
a lot of
like
folks from the
over a
UK
dozen
and Ireland
countries.
and
Love
that area there
They
too.
love
Yeah,
us.
yeah.
That's not the love.
No,
We're their neighbors.
it's the one thing like that I had to do when we started this was I kind of had to look at this through, with a different set of eyes, if you will. Sort of like looking at it as if I was a visitor here and stuff. And
That's cool, though.
yeah, it really is.
Isn't it?
I lost my thought.
Yeah.
But yeah, and it's just gave me a new appreciation for it.
Exactly,
And,
that's what it's about. And that's
yeah.
why I think that's the gift of what you're doing.
Yeah.
It's not only for all the people that you're showing the beauty and the amazingness and the quirky realities and delicious food and everything under the sun. It's you're reminding yourself of this unique, incredible place, and you are then the doyen of that to others. And I mean, I'm pretty proud of you guys because you're just getting started. You're already booming, and look at the future and how exciting it's going to be.
There's so much opportunity out there.
It's true.
For different tours and niches, and we just it's hard for us to kind of contain ourselves sometimes.
I know, you got to pace
How
it,
many
you know?
ideas we have.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
That's the entrepreneurial blessing and curse, but you guys know that all too well. So will you come back again and talk to us as things evolve?
Absolutely.
I love
Absolutely.
it.
Be happy
well,
to.
guys, thank you so much, and I wish you the best this summer. And for you guys sitting on the couch, if you got someone coming for dinner, if you are wanting to reconnect to your own backyard or beyond, then you need to get your people to check out St. John's Walking Tours because they'll be booking up. This is Out of the Fog. We'll be right back after this break.
You're watching Rogers TV St. John's.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Out of the Fog, and hey, I want to dance with somebody. I want to feel, well, you know. But I want to talk about tango tonight, and to join me, Paddy and Deneen. What's going on, guys?
How you doing?
Doing great. So glad you guys came by to say hi.
Hello.
I'll try not to be too much for you, but I'm really enjoying my life, and I'm full of caffeine. So I used to be a dancer. No, I actually won Best Dancer in my high school grad, guys. I'm not going to lie to you. Me and a girl named Sarah Smith, if you're watching. And so dance is it's in my blood, you know? But I'm not a great dancer, I'm not going to lie to you. But I've seen you dance, and I'm blown away. Tango. It's so seductive. When did the art form come to you guys? I'll ask you first.
Sure. Well, I started tango in 2006 at Deneen Dance Studio, which present day is where we are teaching
Full circle.
tango. I know, it's beautiful. And I first heard the music of tango back about 2005, and I grew up in a musical family. My father was an accordion player in tango, the bandoneon. And it's like, what is this music? And soon after, I learned that there was a dance style to tango, and I stepped into Deneen's studio. So that was about 2006, and very beautiful, memorable experience there.
That's amazing. And it's so funny that you came to it via the music of it before the dance of it as a dancer. Isn't that funny how that happened?
Yeah, so my father's side of the family, the Connollys, they were very musical. So I grew up as a child with world music.
Wow.
So I gravitated towards a lot of the world beats. Why, back years ago, I taught salsa dancing in St. John's for several years.
Exactly. Listen, your history of dance and being a dance performer and teacher is incredible, which is why I'm so happy to have you here, because it's just been so amazing to see you work so deeply in the arts, in the various types of dance. And so, Paddy, I mean, what drew you?
What drew me? I think there's always been a kind of an interest in social dance for me. I mean, growing up watching Abbott and Costello movies and seeing swing dancing and things like this. But I came back in 2016. I was introduced to Latin dance and reached out into the community here when I came back to St. John's at the time, and I've landed with Argentine Tango, was introduced to it at a milonga. It's somebody's home, and sort of fell in love with it. It had the right level of maturity and the right level of elegance that just connected for me. So, I find it energizing. It's hard to describe, but you get a big win from taking a beautiful person in your arms and feeling that music and dancing. So it's a really beautiful thing to do, and it's a wonderful pastime.
I love to hear it. And truly, you use some really cool buzzwords there, and I used a couple earlier. Describe tango to me without saying the word tango.
Mm.
Give me the words.
Passionate, expressive, artistic. It can be a very emotional dance as well. So much is going on in the world, in our own personal worlds. And I find tango for me can be very much a meditative state. So you're in the moment, you're with your partner, connecting, communicating. It's a beautiful exchange of a conversation when you are being led. And at times in tango, as a follow, I too take the time to pause and play with my footwork, and the lead, Paddy, has to listen to what it is I'm communicating to him. So it's a conversation, it's meditative, it's a beautiful, beautiful feeling.
Wowee. You've just, I don't know where I'm even at right now after listening to those buzzwords and romancing the picture you're painting. And the back and forth and the lead and the follow and all this. I mean, that is some serious interplay. And yet people who don't even know each other will often come together and tango based on the meetings and the groups that happen. What a very interesting way to meet somebody, am I right?
Yeah, it is a beautiful dance like that. It starts with what we call the campaseo.
Okay.
So we'll be in a room and we'll look around the room, and I'll catch her eye. If she looks away, she has rejected my offer to dance, and I move on. If I hold her gaze, and we'll nod, and then I'll approach her, and we dance 3 dances. It's very polite, it's very respectful, it can be very intimate, yet at the same time it's very safe, and then we dance 3 dances. The tanda is over, there's a cortina, there's an end to that, and then we say thank you, and we never have to dance again, or we can do it again if we wish. So it's a very very lovely, safe kind of experience,
respectful,
and respectful for sure.
My God, I'm like, next thing you know, I'm like knock on the door. I'm like, yo, tango or what, And so speak to me about the community of tango.
Well, there is a local community here, and it's small, as you can imagine. It's an Argentinian-based tradition, traditional dance. Okay. So, but there's a growing interest in it. Yeah. I personally have traveled around the world. So whether it's in Tokyo or in Colombia or in Montreal or Toronto or Halifax, you can go pretty well anywhere, and you can pay your $20, and then you can dance, and you can meet lovely people, and there's you know, kind of one of the nice things about it, it's the social lubricant. You just make that connection with somebody, you get on the floor, you didn't have to spend a bunch of time in a bar and you didn't have to drink anything, and you know, in fact, it's better if you don't. Because you need to have your balance to be able to dance.
Hilarious.
And so
close one. I almost came loaded, so good job.
But no, it's a lovely thing, and what we've done is we've opened up this little studio in St. John's. We call it Hola Tango Studio. The idea of hola meaning hello, so it's the introduction. It's targeted towards beginners. It offers a nice, safe place for people to come and learn tango and do it in an environment where, you know, it's going to be well taught and you're going to have fun, and it's very encouraging. And yeah, I mean, everybody who's done it so far in our first 2 sessions and rounds is totally enjoying themselves.
Love it. Thank you guys so much for coming by, because I love to help expose the art forms that are happening in all forms, and dance, of course, and the tango, and the way you both have described it. I can't imagine anyone watching this show tonight that just watched this interview is not going to grab a partner or come alone and dare to tango. They make it easy, they make it sexy, it's all happening. So check out Hola Tango. This is Out of the Fog. We'll be back to break right after this. And back and forth like that. Oh, hey there. I just want to thank you so much for tuning in to Out of the Fog tonight. I want to thank Melisa and Pierre for coming to St. John's walking tours. I want to thank Marilyn from talking about deluxe dry cleaners. And of course, Paddy there hanging out on the couch, and Deneen here there she is. Thank you so much. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in tonight. And I'm just learning the tango, and let's go. It's one up, and then it's to the side, and then it's back. I did it. You did. Amazing. Thank you so much. Well, thank you so much, guys, and we'll see you next time on Out of the Fog. Peace.